All right. Shalom, shalom. All right. To the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel.
Oh.
We're going to start off this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem,
Hashem,
Yahushai,
Shai,
Bahashem,
Hashem,
Bahakadash.
Shadash.
All right. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who well and have taught this word in truth and sincerity. Okay, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 that's also pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. All right.
That's right.
I'm your fellow servant Amath of JMS Toronto. And I got with me here the elder brother Malak, also of JMS Toronto. And today is going to be another edition of Doomsday Prophecies, okay, where we link Bible prophecies to world events, right, to strengthen the faith of the hopeful elect.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Don't let it, everything we do, every gift we have, every tool that's been given to us, is in the spirit, okay, is used to what? To strengthen our faith.
That's right.
That includes first and foremost this testimony of Yahushai, right? Which is to prophesy, and then everything else under it. Okay, so Lord willing, this lesson is straightforward and edifying. But you see the title here. Perilous times are ahead, so let's gear up. Okay, perilous times are ahead, so let us gear up. And you know, what are we gearing up with? We're not gearing up with carnality and
That's right.
physical weapons and, you know, shields and all this nonsense. Well, we're gearing up in the spirit, armor in the spirit, because we know, all right, those of us that sincerely believe and fear in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we know that this is a spiritual battle, okay, which means it's an attack upon the mind, okay, more than anything else. It plays out, what is in the spirit plays out or manifests in the flesh. Okay, so let's open up with this precept here, Ephesians 6 and 10. And we know this precept, the armor of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. This is what we're to gear up with. Okay, looking at all these prophecies and these events play out, or all these prophecies taking place, this is what we need to be gearing up on more and more. So it says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and in the power of his might. Okay, put on the whole armor of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Okay, NLT says, put on the whole armor. Put on all of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai's armor, so that you will be able to stand firm.
That's right.
You see, because everything that's going to take place, you know, we talk about a sifting, right? The Lord is going to shake up this whole world and society at large, the global society at large. He's going to shake them up, okay? And if you're not rooted, if your faith isn't rooted, and you don't have the full armor of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which goes into what? 100% understanding.
Simply put,
It's one, you have to have 100% understanding of the Lord's word, okay, for you to stand firm. All right, in the time of Jacob's trouble, which is what we're approaching, the climax, so to speak, or the climax rather. So it says, put on all of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's armor, so that you will be able to stand firm against all the strategies of the devil.
That's right.
Okay? He's not called the devil for no reason.
That's right.
All right, Satan, his physical counterpart here on earth, which is Esau, Edom, the greatest deceiver that the Lord has made. Okay, on the left-hand side, he's the greatest deceiver. And these people have no idea that they are being beguiled by the devil's strategies. Okay, and what gives us insight in the strategies of these devils? The scriptures.
That's right.
So this is why you got to put on. This is why you got to put on the armor of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, so that you can stand against these strategies. Okay.
His words are true, and our life and our life. Roughly paraphrasing the precept, it was just coming to my mind, but I couldn't recall it exactly. His words are true and our life, right?
Yeah, John 6:63.
That's right. The whole armor is it's spiritual, right? In other words, folks, hey, it's already settled in heaven, and we're going to watch it play out. But if we're not armored, if we don't have His armor on, which are these scriptures, right? Wisdom is not going to be with you. That means you're coming in the flesh, and that's going to fail, guaranteed. Armor
Yep.
flesh will fail you. Mm-hmm.
So this is verse 12 in NLT. It says, "For we are not fighting against flesh and blood
Mm-hmm.
enemies." Even though this is what we see, this is not who we're fighting against.
That's right.
Which means you have to tap into the Holy Spirit to see who you're really fighting against. Okay? But against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world. That's the spiritual realm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And the world of the top wicked elite.
Beautiful point.
Okay?
Perfect.
That's an
balance.
unseen world.
Yep. Straight.
It says against mighty powers in this dark world and against evil spirits in the heavenly places. All right. Therefore, put on every piece. Okay. Not 99, like Apostle Gabar always says. 99.9% just won't do. You have to put on every single piece of Yahweh Shem Shai's armor so that you'll be able to resist the enemy in the time of evil. Okay? And that evil extends to what? Ultimately, the destruction, but before the World War III, the destruction, we have our individual hours of temptation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You don't know how your hour of temptation is gonna play out, but you know that a chip's gonna be involved, and then you know it's coming. That's all you know. That's all we know.
That's
Okay,
right.
so while we're in a time of grace, we got to put on every single piece of armor. So get 100% understanding of the Lord's word, okay, so that the Holy Spirit will be with us in that time. What did Yahushua do when he was being tempted by the devil? He used the scriptures, okay? And so if Sophia, okay, which is wisdom, as well as coupled with Rakakadash, the Holy Spirit isn't dealing with you in your time of Jacob's trouble, or sorry, in your time of temptation, in your hour of temptation, you're going to take the trip. Okay. And ultimately, we know that if you're of the elect, you're good. But that doesn't mean you don't put on the whole armor just because, the elect are good. You don't know if you're of the elect. You have to believe you're of the elect. Therefore, you have to put on the elect. And this is what the elect would do. Okay. It says, then, I'll read it again. Therefore, put on every piece of Yahweh Shem Shai's armor, so you will be able to resist the enemy in the time of evil. Then after the battle, you will stand, or you will be standing firm. Okay, so you won't, your faith won't be shaken. Stand your ground. Put it on the belt of truth and guess what? The belt of truth and the body armor of Yahweh Bashim Shai's righteousness. And truth is what girds us up, right? Truth is what keeps us steady as well. It's what keeps your faith firm. It's the fact that you have the truth.
That's right.
Right? Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times. What is a belt used for? A belt is used to keep everything you're wearing, your pants, right? And everything, your pants tight, girded around your loins. Right? So it says what? Stand your ground, putting on the belt of truth. So what's going to gird our loins? This truth.
That's right.
Getting wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Okay, and again, it's what? It's really girding and stabilizing your faith. All right, last verse, and then I got a couple clips we'll get into as well concerning the topic. So this is verse 15, NLT. For shoes, put on the peace that comes from the good news, okay, so that you will be fully prepared, okay. So we have to apply this truth basically, right? When it says for shoes, put on the peace that comes from the good news, right? The peace that comes from the good news is comfort via the Holy Spirit.
That's right.
It's peaceful to know that, you woke up And then when you go back at the end of the day to lay your head on your pillow, that you've done everything you possibly can, all right, to please the Heavenly Father. Okay, that's walking in the good news as well, because you're applying this doctrine.
That's right.
And when you do that and you rinse and repeat, guess what? You're preparing yourself. The scriptures say that we be fully prepared. Okay, and the last verse is in addition of all these, all right, hold up the shield of faith. You see? So above everything we just talked about, the most important thing is faith, because
That's right.
faith is what makes everything else work.
That's right.
Okay?
Shield of
If you
faith.
have That's right. If you have faith, okay, guess what? Your fear of the Lord is going to grow. Because how do you fear something that you don't believe in? So if your faith grows, your fear in the Lord grows, which means your obedience grows, which means you get more diligent. And it all loops right back around to doing what? Strengthening the faith that started it in the first place. You see?
Beautiful.
So in addition to all of these, hold up the faith of the shield of faith
Yep.
to stop the fiery arrows of the devil. Okay. King James, it says above all. So above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Let me look up darts. Quench. Let's look up fiery. Fiery, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Strong's G 4448. Porao. Porao.
Okay, to burn, right, to set on fire, to kindle. That reminds me of inward agitations, right? That's a kindling. To be increased or
Incense.
incensed.
Incense. Yep.
Yeah.
Within. Yep.
Of darts filled with inflammable substance and sets on fire. Damn.
Coming.
Yo, spiritual demon Satan, man. Melted by fire, purged through of drought. Yeah, and let's go to dart or darts.
Strong's G 956. Belos. Belos. Thayer's Lexicon. Second entry. Belane. Belane.
Okay, so a missile. Yeah, because ultimately, we don't want to be here when those missiles come.
That's right.
Right?
That's
Dart,
right.
javelin, arrow. But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Spear of arrow. Yeah. See what the etymology says here. Etymology says to throw or let go of a thing without caring where it falls. Damn.
Strong's G 906. Balo. Balo.
Uncertain about the results. That's a pretty good definition. It says to care or to give over to one's care, uncertain about the results. Yeah. And that's one thing you don't want to be, right? And it's uncertain. This is why you gotta put on the whole armor. But yeah, that's it.
Straight.
You got something real quick?
Yeah, real quick. Yes, I just want to comment on.
We'll get the clips.
The shield of wisdom. You brought it. That's powerful. Which is Yahweh Shai, the gift that is given between us and the Father. Shield of wisdom. Put him on, right? But only those who are of the elect. So I have two precepts to read real quick. We're going to go to the Second Ezra's, the 7th chapter, and I'm just going to read 2 verses from there today, leading into what was just what you just went into. Right, the results of the shield of wisdom being with the elect, what the Lord is going to do for the elect. So
what chapter?
The 7th chapter, Second Ezra, the 7th chapter, 43 and 44. I'm going to go straight to the point, and the context goes into Sennacherib, simply put, and a list of many events that happened with our forefathers, and we are our forefathers, and so forth like that. So what was written for that time, it's going to come upon us as again, and this is what this goes into. But this is like the finality of it. So straight to the
Yeah, go
point.
ahead.
Right. So it says, this is Second Ezra's 7:43. It says, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time and the beginning of immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. Right. So simply put, actually, I wanted you to go up a little bit more, Baba Shah. It's 41 and 42. Yeah, and then finishing with, yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay. There you go. Second Ezra says 7:41. It says, even so, now seeing corruption is grown and wickedness increased, and and the righteous have prayed for the ungodly, wherefore shall it not be so also? Okay, so there's no prayers really for them, the ungodly. When you go into this context, it reveals that, right? And when you read up, it talks about our history and how we're marching through, right? But here's the point, and then I'll finish with verse 43. It says, he answered me and said, this life is not the end there, where much glory doth abide. So this is, in other words, he's saying, look, man, this is not our rest here. Okay, we're passing through. Simply put, right? What we're looking for is verse 43, right? And it's going to be the shield of faith will be upon his elect. So it says,
Yep, and this is
no,
not
go
where
ahead.
this is not where the kingdom is,
That's right.
right? That's why it says this present life is not the end where much glory doeth abide. A lot of Israelites
More
believe
glory. That's
that
right.
this is where you're gonna grab, this is where you're gonna get glory.
That's right.
So, you know, they sell out and you do get glory, but what you're getting, first of all, is temporary. Okay. And second of all, you're not even getting crumbs off of Esau's table.
hmm
So all of it is just vanity.
That's right.
You got it.
No, straight up. It says, beautiful point. I'll read it again. It says, this life, he answered me and said, this life is not the end where much glory doth abide. Therefore, have they prayed for the weak, right? Have they prayed for the weak? So the Lord here is simply saying, right, the elect is going to be praying for the elect, right? Not the wicked. Okay. Right there at the end.
Yeah, and weak in faith.
That's right. Weak in faith. Simply put. And here's the point. It says, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time. The day of doom, we're going to go into it, and the beginning of immortality. You see, for to come, wherein corruption is past. That's what we look forward to, right? And when you read this, I think it's Wisdom of Solomon 3:1. Anyway, not Ezra's here. That goes into prepare our souls for temptation and set our heart aright in spirit and in truth, right? In other words,
That's Sirach chapter 2. Sirach
right.
chapter 2.
That's right. I meant to say, actually, the elect is in the Lord's hand, ultimately, to bring them through. The shield of wisdom, he's going to bring them through into immortality. But that's all I wanted to bring out, because this should be the focus, right? And those powerful scriptures that came out in Ephesians goes into that. All right?
Yeah. This here, you know, I just want to add something too. It says, but the day of doom shall be at the end of this time. Right? And the beginning of immortality for to come. All right. So destruction is synonymous with the resurrection, or rather the coming of the kingdom of heaven.
Deliverance. Yes.
Right? This place, that which is sown, the evil which is sown, must be uprooted before that which is good is sown hereafter, roughly paraphrasing. Okay. So a lot of you Israelites, we can tell that you're not looking for the kingdom, because your mind is focused on a kingdom that's fading away. This kingdom, Esau, Edom's kingdom. A lot of you Israelites look down on the prophets because we're talking about a destruction. But that destruction, the destruction of Babylon the Great, aka America, is synonymous with the kingdom of heaven being established.
That's right.
This is why, you know, 2/3 simply you just have to go. You just have to go. You have to restart by coming back through the whole full elect in the kingdom of heaven, man. Okay, so let's get into these clips now. Hey, shalom to all the brothers, sincere brothers, and Akim and Akwaf on the common board. Y'all Bashim Nashar Baka Thumb, shalom. We got the beloved brother GMS Yukon Canada in. Shalom, Akia. Yahweh Shem Yashar Barakatah. So, anyhow, so the first clip here is going to be a short clip, but this is from Jason A. Breaking. Trump makes shocking announcement, okay, going into extraterrestrial life, which we know to be the angels.
That's right.
But we're going to tie this into what's known as Project Skybeam, also known as Project Bluebeam, okay? A lot of things are happening at once, man. A lot of things are happening at once. So fair use, fair use, fair use. I'm not receiving any monetization for this video, okay? Only sharing this video for educational purposes only. So fair use, fair use, fair use.
President Trump says he is directing the Pentagon to open files on aliens and UFOs. The president says it's because of the, quote, tremendous interest. But why now? That's the question. Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
The truth is out there, somewhere.
I don't know.
And now, President Trump is promising to begin the process of identifying what the government knows about UFOs and aliens. Earlier Thursday, he accused former President Barack Obama of allegedly revealing classified information when Obama was asked on a podcast about aliens.
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51.
He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information.
The former president's confirmation that we might not be alone
That's it. We got aliens.
led to so much online speculation that he quickly felt compelled to clarify his stance on Instagram, writing, "I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us." Really? But the notion that more information may have been taken to our leaders than they're letting on really took off midweek when Lara Trump, who's married to the president's son, told another podcast,
there is some speech that he's going to break out and talk about, and it has to do with maybe some sort of extraterrestrial life.
but the White House press secretary brushed that off.
Well, a speech on aliens would be news to me. That sounds very exciting, though. I'll have to check in with our speech writing team.
Obama says that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors?
Well, he gave classified information. That's supposed to be doing that. You know,
The aliens are real.
well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. Well, he made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, the president can declassify anything that he wants to. So
Well,
if
maybe
you
I'll
want
get
to
him
make
out
an
of trouble.
announcement,
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
we know illegal aliens.
Yeah, only illegals.
Now, this isn't the first time the government has promised to probe what it knows about aliens. Back in 2024, the Pentagon released a report that said they found no evidence that the U.S. had encountered what it called extraterrestrial technology, and said most sightings were just ordinary objects that had been misidentified.
Right. So the reason why I play this clip is because, you know, you're hearing all this hoopla about aliens, extraterrestrial, UFOs, which we know those are the chariots and the angels. And, you know, all this, you know, Esau, he's a deceiver, right? So what he does is he tries to get ahead of the narrative to control the narrative. Okay. And this is where Project Skybeam, Project Bluebeam comes to effect. And a lot of people are going to be beguiled by, like we read, the wiles, right? The strategies of the devil. These are a part of the strategies of the devil. This is why, right, starting with the apostles and bishops on down of Great Millstone, we have 100% truth, first and foremost. 100% truth. And we boldly claim that. Okay. And second of all, we're constantly harping on one another and every single one of you sincere brothers and sisters to gear up in the spirit. Because listen, believe you us, if you are not in the spirit, you will be beguiled. You will be beguiled if you're not in the spirit. Okay. And we have this gray spirit, right, to work on our salvation with fear and trembling diligently, so that we can be in the spirit when all hell breaks loose. The Lord bestows the Holy Spirit upon us. It's seen that we've been diligent during the grace period. Okay, not just with lessons, but also with your character. That's the main thing, building up your character, which ties into building up the spiritual man, right? Which is synonymous with building up your faith. Okay, so going into projects, Bluebeam, Project Skybeam. Okay, so I got here from chat. We'll just get into a little bit, and then we'll get some precepts. We'll get a precept and we'll go on to the next video. It says here, the story of Project Bluebeam, the idea of Project Bluebeam comes primarily from a man named Serge Montanus, Serge Monast in 1990s. He claimed there was a secret plan run by global elites, UN shadow powers, right? The hidden powers, shadow powers that would stimulate, simulate supernatural or extraterrestrial events in the sky. Number 2, break down existing religions. Number 3, stage an alien threat. Number 4, use global fear to unite humanity under a single world authority. Okay? In short, fake gods, fake aliens, real political consolidation. Okay? A theoretical apocalypse proceeded like a movie. And this is why they predictably program the world through their movies. So that when it happens, people are already set. They're already conditioned, all right, to drink the wine of Babylon so they can be beguiled and follow along, all right, and take the chip and be a part of the New World Order as well.
That's right. Theoretical. Excuse me, it says there, apocalypse.
Apocalypse, yeah. Apocalypse. Yeah. Right? So it says the core claim, the theory says, and it's a fact, man. Enough information, but you know how chat goes down. The theory says modern tech would be used to stage a convincing global illusion, such as holographic projections in the sky, artificial earthquakes to discover ancient revelations. You see, and they have the technology to do these things, right? They have the technology to manipulate weather. The Lord has given them the technology to manipulate weather, to manufacture earthquakes, all right? As well as you have the technology of the DOO, right? Direct energy weapons, okay? Mind influencing tech via signals, okay? So what does that mean? Mind influencing tech via signals. We did a lesson on this a couple months back on how they have, through these 5G or 6G towers, the radio frequency, all right, they're able to, through the frequency, have you hear and see things that are not really there. Okay, just like the angel did, all right, to Tobit and Tobias. When the angel, all right, that came as a man and was eating, it told them later on that I made you see me eat, but I wasn't actually eating. You see? So Esau, Edom is mimicking that on the left-hand side. This is what I'm talking about. Counterfeit blessings. Counterfeit miracles, counterfeit miracles. Okay?
Which will be received as blessings.
Exactly. Exactly.
To you wicked. Yeah.
Yep. So again, it says mind influencing tech via signals. And hey, enough people took the poison dart. So there's what you call you got the giraffe theme, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, we got to speak in code. Right? The giraffe theme. And the giraffe theme basically is what? Nanotechnology. Also called the nanites. So enough people took those things. So they have these little conductors inside of them, all right, that will activate on their senses and what they see and hear when those towers send out those their signals. You see?
That's right.
60. Okay, the water, brother. The water. Post this comment. It says the analogy, this is from GMS Yukon, Canada, the analogy that 5G is the brain while 6G is the nervous system, highlights a fundamental shift from simply transmitting data 5G to creating a persuasive, intelligent, and sensory aware infrastructure. Yeah, exactly. 6G. Yep, that's right.
No.
So
I'm with the
this is why they want everybody a part of the grid. Okay, the new grid. So going back here, it says mind influencing tech via signals, a stage alien invasion, the final act. Humanity runs towards centralized leadership for safety, right? The chip, New World Order. Order born from fear. It says the psychological spine of the idea. Now, whether or not one believes the literal mechanics, the psychological logic behind the theory isn't new. History shows fear unites faster than hope. External threats have always been the fastest glue for fractured societies. Okay. And external threats also, extend to the heirs as well. Okay. You can call them internal, but you can also call them external because that's known as a foreign invader, right? A tierras, a foreign invader. Okay, so that falls upon the demonization, okay, of the believers, okay, and the non-believers because they're going to crumble in that time. But it says here examples from the past: city states unite against invading armies. You see, nations centralized during wartime, civil war. It says here, civil liberties shrink during crises. Real enemies or perceived ones often produce same political result. Centralized authority. So this is the ultimate strategy behind his counterfeit miracles and behind his wiles. It's to centralize everybody. First of all, they want to destroy, they want to kill off a lot of people. It's called a culling. Okay, they want to kill off a lot of people. And then they want to centralize everybody else that's left because it's easier to control.
We call them Goyim.
Yeah, Goyim.
Yeah. Want to kill as many as possible.
Yep. So 2 more parts. It says, why aliens? Because nothing unifies rivals like something not from here. A foreign army still leaves room for alliances and politics, but an otherworldly threat that reframes the entire human story from us versus them. Right? And you can read about this, the literal fight. Okay, you can read about it in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. Okay, that's when the real thing is going to take place. What we're talking about is what they're going to stage.
That's right.
It says humanity versus the unknown. It's the ultimate reset button. Even Ronald Reagan once remarked, praising the idea an alien threat would unite the world overnight. Overnight. Okay, last part here. It says the modern angle. Today's technology has advanced in ways that naturally fuel speculations. Deepfake, right? Also that's going to be used for demonization as well. Advanced projection systems, okay? AI generated realism, information warfare, psychological operations, psyops. Governments have historically conducted psyops. That's documented fact. But there is no verified evidence that Project Bluebeam itself exists as an actual implemented program. There's a lot of evidence, but we know how chat gets done. Okay.
Yeah.
With that being exactly, and then we have the scriptures. So let me get 2 precepts because the scriptures talk about that. All right, deceiving many. So let me get that one first, and I'll get Psalm 64. Go to Matthew 24. And let's see. Yeah, person should definitely move. Terrible would be pregnant. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll start at 23. Okay, so this is Matthew 24 and 23 in the GNT. Then if any man shall say unto you, because remember, they're also, these small hats are also boasting and building up the third temple, right? Their third temple.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the water, brother. He already got it. Matthew 3. His brother's always been quick with the precepts.
Beautiful.
Matthew 24 and 26 is the point. But these guys are building up, they're boasting about building up the third temple. Okay, and there's been lots of talks about an AI Christ, right? An AI Savior. And AI is going to be the new religion. Okay, so it says the point here is in verse 26. I'll start at 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Hamashiach, okay, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Hamashiach, so false saviors and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Okay? That's serious when you really sit down and meditate about that. If it were possible, they would have deceived the very elect. But it's not possible because the Most High has already written that the elect will overcome. Okay? So this man is going to pull out all the stops, okay, to deceive the world.
All stops.
That's right. Into partaking into his new world order. Verse 25, behold, I have told you before, okay, as we're telling you now. That's how you know it's prophecy. It says, wherefore, if they say, here's the point, unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth, so don't partake. Okay? Behold, he is in the secret chambers. Okay? Believe it not. Okay, and this is another thing that these small hats boast about concerning the third temple is it's basically the fact that they're going to have a Messiah, or who they claim to be the Messiah, come, and he's going to be in these secret chambers. Okay, administering, and this is going to be their their manufactured kingdom of heaven. Okay.
Yeah, didn't we watch a few years back their Messiah? He wore glasses and he came with a hat, and he was wearing a hat. I don't want to get too descriptive, but I'm talking about.
And, well,
yeah. The Torah was memorized, so that's a false Messiah for us.
Yeah.
Messiah.
Well, yeah. If you fall, Slaki.
No,
you're right. I remember what you were saying, but if you fall for a fucking Edomite, okay, excuse my French, with glasses and a hat on, call himself the Messiah, man. Come on. I mean, you're already, I don't even know what to call you. Okay. Last verse here says, for as lightning cometh out of the east, okay, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Okay.
Going to the true coming. Yeah.
That's right. Going to the true coming. And again, you could read about that in 2nd Ezra 16th chapter. So I know you're probably holding something too as well, right?
I'll take your time. There's so much going on in my head. Because you just mentioned that one, and then my brain went to Revelation chapter 6 about the true coming. Go ahead, brother. Take your time.
So this is this is Psalm 64 and 5. Okay, we're using the King James. I'll get an NLT. It says they being who? The top wicked elite, okay, that rule this world. They encourage themselves and all their stooges under them as well. Okay, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. Okay, they commune. Yep, they commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? Okay, the very fact that we're able, okay, to go into the scriptures and expose this devil, it's excuse my French, it's a mind fuck for these top wicked elite.
That's right.
Okay, and it terrifies them because they spent all kinds of energy and money in keeping this truth hidden, all right, and lying to the world. But this is the will of the Most High. Okay, so when it comes to the world, they're looking at the Goyim, okay, and this is what they're saying, right? Who shall see them? Who shall see us, basically. Verse 6, they search out iniquities, okay? They search out iniquities, And this is why they hire, the top scientists, engineers, right? The top experts of all fields of study, right? So that they can put together, right, their schemes and their plans, okay, to deceive the people. It says they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, okay? And the heart is deep. But Yahweh, Bashim Yashar, shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. Yep. It's ultimately destruction. But in the NLT, it says they shall encourage, right? They shall encourage each other to do evil and plan how to set their traps in secret. This is what you call psyops. Who will ever notice? They ask. As they plot their crimes, they say, we have devised the perfect plan. Yes, the human heart and the mind are cunning, but Yahweh Bashim Shai himself will shoot them with his arrows, starting with us, right? The prophets, starting with the apostles and the bishops and elders on down of Great Millstone, because we have 100% truth. So we're exposing you through the spiritual arrows, first and foremost.
That's right. Okay, breaking down the strongholds.
That's right. That's right. But Yahweh Bashim Shai himself will shoot them with his arrows, suddenly striking them down. Okay.
Beautiful.
That's it on that. You got it.
Yeah. Yeah, real quick. Yeah, so I might as well just go there because it segued right into it. Revelation 6. I'd like to that I won't go to Ezra's, but I'll read Revelation 6. Start at 14 to 17. Right? Points in there. Really, actually 13. Yeah. 13.
All right. You got it.
All right. Beautiful. Right. I'm describing here the 13th verses going into the nukes. It says, and the stars of heaven fell onto the earth, even as a fig tree mastereth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island moved out of its place, right? Out of their places, right? And here's the point. And the kings of the earth and the great man and the rich man and the chief captains and the mighty man, right? And every bondman and every free man hid themselves, right? In the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, okay? And they say this, right? So just to give you a quick picture of what's happening, right? Going into the perilous times, right? I have my list here, simply put, going into the MOTB, leading up all the way to this, right? But I'm not trying to say that this is one event and this. No, when probation closed, these polycrises in regards to the Lord's prophecies being fulfilled, okay, is going to be clear, right? Because it's tied actually with verse 16. Okay, verse 16 is coming.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a real thing. What we're reading right now.
Simply put,
this is a real thing. When the real thing happens, right? Because when the missiles are shot, you have to understand when missiles are shot, Yahweh Shai will simultaneously crack them clouds to save the elect while those missiles are shot.
That's right.
Now, in terms of the intricacies of how it's going to play out, well, we got to wait till we get there.
That's
right. But we could tell you ultimately that when those missiles are shot, as the other brothers reading this precept, the elect are going to get beamed up, okay, by the chariots, which the world ignorantly calls UFOs.
That's right.
And the rest of these top wicked elites are going to hide themselves in, because they know what's going on. They know the truth. They know Yahweh Shai is coming. But because of the pride of their heart has deceived them, they think they're going to be able to fight against him. Even when he comes and he presents himself in his majesty and his glory, it says that they, in that same chapter, 2 Ezra 13, that they were afraid, but thus fight.
That's right.
So the Lord put the spirit on them to fight anyways, even though they saw his majesty and were like, yeah, we can't do nothing against this. We're talking about heavenly technology, timeless technology, man.
That's right.
Technology in this realm gets better over time. They're going to go against technology that's timeless.
That's right.
I mean, like, how you going to compare? How you going to fight against something like that? Okay, so
Straight.
yeah. So this is the real
No,
thing.
beautiful. Finishing it off, just stop right here to the point. It says Revelation 6:16, and said to the mountains and the rocks, right, fall on us, right? It's a figure of speech to say we're going to run into our bunkers and hide us from the face of him that wrath is come, and who shall abide? I believe that's the next verse, right? But this here is the actual coming, right? Coming of the Lord, and it's you can't make a movie of it. But as brother mentioned, simply put, Esau is permitted to bring you that Project Bluebeam for you useless goems, and you're going to drink that up, right? And the Lord's going to come in and clean up his business here. So it says, lastly, I'll just read verse 17. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Right? Simply put, only the elect is going to stand on the sea of glass. That's it.
That's right. That's right. Beautiful, beautiful.
With the
We
Lord.
bring out these two clips, precepts from the comment board. This one's from KDC 3814. Shalom Akyal Bashim Shabakatah. This is what was the one that he posted? It was good. Yeah. It's the second Ezra 6 and 28. It says, as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, right? And the truth, and we're in the midst of this happening. This is why this place is going down. Okay. Corruption is being overcome by the way of what? Truth being prophesied, the testimony.
That's right.
And the truth which hath been so long without fruit shall be declared. That's right. Okay, so because this truth had its period to play out where it was without fruit, these devils, all right, got beside themselves and over themselves and thought that they were going to win at the end, that ultimately they're going to win. Okay, but the joke's on them, obviously, as the Lord says. The scriptures say the Lord laughs in the heavens. I was Psalms 2 and 1.
Yep.
Okay, the Lord's laughing in the heavens. So this is from the brother.
Why do the heathens rage?
Exactly.
Imagine the main thing, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is GMS Yukon, Canada. All right. Jeremiah 16 and 16 GNT. The Lord says, I am sending for many fishermen to come and catch these people. And then I will send for many hunters to hunt them down. Right? That's the hopeful elect. Like 144,000, man. On every mountain and hill and in the caves. Guess what that is? That is the bunkers. Okay? Those are modern day caves. It says, and rocks.
That's right. You've been forewarned.
That's right.
Dirty elites.
Forewarned. Verse 17, it says, I see everything they do. Nothing is hidden from me. Their sins do not escape my sight. Damn, that's right. That's right. Beautiful. Okay, so with that being said, let's get to the next clip here. So the next clip here is concerning the chaos that's going on in Mexico. Or is it Mexico? Yeah, Mexico. Okay. And we're going to tie this into the demonization, right? And perilous times, and how, again, like we've been talking about, how we need to gear up. Seeing that all these things are playing out, we need to gear up because we're about to be demonized, on the highest level. Like they're going to put us on Front Street. Okay, and it's going to be crazy. So if your faith isn't rooted, right, in the truth and the true doctrine in Yahweh Shem Shai, then you will be uprooted. Okay.
Simply put, starts with that conduct.
That's right.
Starts with that conduct. Real quick. Respect, which is going in reverencing Yahweh Shem Shai on down. Go ahead, brother.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So this is from Dabu 7. All right, and it says chaos unfolds in Mexico. Cartel gunmen attacked Guadalajara airport. other areas over Mexico killing over other areas over Mencho killing. He's the head guy of the cartel there. Okay.
This is Tapu 7.
So we'll go ahead and play this. And this is fair use, fair use, fair use. All right. We're not receiving any monetization for this video. Only sharing this video for educational purposes only.
This is Tapu 7. You're looking at footage of the Guadalajara airport in Mexico as cartel gunmen have stormed the area in multiple other locations across Mexico. People running for their lives, as you can see right here, out of the back of the Guadalajara airport. This is all in connection to the capture or killing of Mencho. The members that are said to be behind all this are members of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, or the CJNG. They apparently stormed this international airport. This is in retaliation for the death of their notorious leader, Nemesio El Mencho Asguero. Now, there was a military operation that was pulled off in downtown, and apparently they took his life. And in response, all hell is breaking loose. People were trapped at the airport. They could not get out. There's plumes of smoke coming up from all over the area. Shots fired inside of the airport. Just literal chaos all over the place. There's many different places that are affected here in this. They even say Puerto Vallarta is affected here. There's people that are being kind of held hostage or can't leave the area because of this. And you can see here on the feeds, when you scroll through the feeds, you can just see plumes of smoke and the same stuff everywhere. They're saying code red in terms of this, and I'm not sure that the Mexican government is prepared whatsoever to deal with this. We've got word that here within the past week, the U.S. military sent boots on the ground into the area to deal with certain situations, and we may see more of it. This may be where the whole thing with the cartels goes into motion. Remember, Trump made an executive order on day one of this term, and it was against cartels in Mexico specifically. We've seen no big action until right now. This is rather big, and it could escalate. So I'll leave a link. Join me for the live streams going live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, covering this and a whole bunch more. Much love.
Yep. And now we're going to jump to the next clip. Okay, so bear with us. We're going to jump to the next clip, and we're going to tie this in. Yo, a lot's going on, man. A lot is going on. Okay, so the next clip here is this is from the brother, all right, Arrows of Indignation 144. So subscribe and be edified. Lots of videos he puts up that are worthy for lessons, man. Heads up, Achium. Okay, he says, heads up, Achium, stay vigilant. The accuser of our brethren is up to something. Exactly. So he's in the same spirit that we're in, every single one of us. So now, before I play this, also keep in mind that Trump, all right, the U.S., a lot of U.S. forces are over there, making their way over there to Iran. Okay, so with that being said, okay, if something does go off, we know that the our temptation has to come first. But if something does go off there, that can lead to, again, a retaliation in America via whatever, cyber attack, T attack, whatever. And that's where they're going to use, that chaos to demonize the hopeful elect. Because what's the major religion in the Arab world? Islam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And enough times they've tied us to Islam. Enough times. And we're not Islamic, right? We're Hebrew Israelites. We're not even black Hebrew Israelites. And we know this. Okay? But you got, a long years ago, the elder Yeshawamba went into how IUIC, right, when they got their 501c3 charter, they tied themselves to being an Islamic group. Okay, and so the idea of Hebrew Israelites, black Hebrew Israelites, the conditioning, the mental salve of them being connected to Islam is already there. Okay, so keep that in mind.
Threat of potential attacks on warnings coming out from the FBI of the threat of potential attacks on U.S. food supply, cyber attacks, biological attacks, and also we're hearing attacks to the U.S. power grid. Go ahead and take a look at the latest headlines that have been coming out. This just in the past 6 hours. You can see it on the headline here. FBI says U.S. agriculture at.
So let me. Okay, that was good.
risk of cyber attacks and biological threats from foreign groups. We're going to be diving into all the details.
What is going on here? Slacker.
Latest headlines that have been coming out this just in the past 6 hours. You can see it on the headline here. FBI says U.S. agriculture at risk of cyber attacks and biological threats from foreign groups. We're going to be diving into all the details. I'm going to be sharing with you the video footage. After major Poland energy grid cyber attack, the CISA has now issued a warning to the U.S. audience. You can see this coming out just a couple of days ago as well. Here's another one. After Poland's cyber attacks, the CISA is warning U.S. energy sector to change their default passwords for the programs. And we saw this warning a couple months ago, December of 2025. Take a look at this. Agencies warn of state-sponsored cyber attacks from Russia and from China. And if that's who you were anticipating, you were thinking was behind this, we're hearing that is exactly who we are concerned of with these attacks. Take a look at this one coming out on the 2nd. Earlier this month, the FBI, Metro Police find more than 1,000 samples at alleged illegal bio lab. Here's what we know so far. I'm going to be sharing with you the video footage, and this all comes as, take a look, coming out yesterday. Here's how the Department of Homeland Security's shutdown could impact the lives of everyday Americans. We're hearing that right now. The DHS is not funded. There is a partial government shutdown. We cannot agree on how we're going to be funding these programs to help secure our nation. We have Border Patrol that is going to be impacted by this, FEMA that's going to be impacted by this, the CISA, Department of Homeland Security, ICE. All of these are going to be impacted with what's going on, and there are warnings coming out right now of potential attacks from foreign adversaries against the U.S. on our soil, cyber attacks, infrastructure issues, potential biohazards and threats to our food supply as well. Sleeper cells. There are cells in Washington, D.C., all throughout New York City, and the entire state. So many that they say that they cannot identify the cities, just there are them everywhere.
You hear that? So that's chaos. There's a bunch of sleeper cells. All right. And the enemy could be anybody. It could be Russia, it could be China, it could be Iran, it could be us, you know what I mean? But the point is that there's total confusion, and confusion, as we know how the devil gets down, that's where he can administer his order. Okay, and what does he want? Who's he after first on the list? Is us.
That's right.
So this is why we have to gear up in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah. Let's continue.
State of New York, San Francisco, California, Santa Clara, California, Los Angeles, California, San Diego, California, Houston, Texas, Arlington, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Boca Raton, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Orlando, Florida, Tampa, Florida, Boston, Massachusetts, Playfield, Illinois, Chicago.
Hey, and this kind of just came to my mind because we know that we have agents in the camps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, you never know, and one of those or all of those or many of those agents, okay, could be the sleeper cells that he's talking about. They got their orders to do something, right? But because they're part of a camp, whatever they do, it's tied to the Hebrew Israelites. Okay. So we're giving you multiple scenarios of how this can play out, okay? Because as far as the intricacies of it, again, we have to, get there for it to play out. But we're giving you the warning that this is what's coming. Nevertheless, this is what's coming. Okay.
Cleveland, Ohio, Laurel, Maryland, Potomac, Maryland, Herdon, Virginia, Springfield, Virginia, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Charlotte, North Carolina, Detroit, Michigan, Columbia, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, Denver, Colorado, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Tucson, Arizona, and Seattle, Washington. List of cities that we'd received from U.S. intelligence. These are the FBI sleeper cell locations where they believe that there are cells in various cities that should be on a heightened state of alert. Now, again, this was back in 2023.
And then you got the whole thing happening in Mexico. So how many cartels do you think are here too? Okay.
But we're seeing all of this coming back now as we're entering into 2026 because of everything that is going on. Let me know, are you concerned about potential sleeper cell attacks in the United States? We've been hearing these warnings for years, but now they're saying it is coming back again. It's getting closer potentially.
So that's the clip. That's the last clip.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get this here from two precepts as well. This is from GMS Yukon, Canada, Isaiah 24:10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, and that no man may come in. That's right. That's martial law, civil unrest, right? Curfews. And we went through a foreshadowing of that during the Crown Boil. right? The C19. So we got insight of what that looks like, and that was like what they call soft core. We're about to go into hardcore of that, right? Civil unrest, martial law, what's it called? Grocery lines, right?
It's all going to be
This is from
fueled. Oh, I was going to real quick say it's all going to be fueled by, simply put, Isaiah 10:1 on righteous decrees. No doubt about it. That's what's going to fuel it, because when it's said and done, all those laws, martial laws and so forth like that, fueled by unrighteous decrees with the events that go along with it that you just mentioned. Okay, so yes, none of those decrees are going to be righteous. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. It says here CISA, right? This is from KDC. 3814 says CISA generally refers to either the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, a government entity protecting critical infrastructure, or the Certified Information System Auditor. Prestigious IT audit certification from ISACA. That's con. Okay, beautiful. So we know what that is. Okay. All these 3-letter, 4-letter agencies all work together, right, for the bidding of the top wicked elite. Okay. Now, I'm going to get a quick precept. This is 2nd Ezra 6. And where am I going to start? Or slacking. 2nd Ezra 5. All right, so the 2nd Ezra 5, verse 1. All right. And it says here in the GNT, it says, but these are the signs. Okay, but these are the signs. The time will come when all people on earth will be in the grip of great confusion, right? And the potential, right, or sleeper cells and cyber attacks and T attacks, right? All build what? Confusion in the minds of people, not knowing who's who and what's what. Okay, which is the perfect environment for these elites, these top wicked elites. It says the grip of great confusion. They'll be in the grip of great confusion. The way of truth will be hidden. This is why a lot of you rebellious Israelites, all you rebellious Israelites, okay, are going to be caught up in the grip of great confusion because you don't understand what the hell you're involved in. Okay, you don't understand the severity, all right, of what's coming down the pipe. This is why you're handing out flyers. You got Israelite camps handing out flyers, all right, and doing and singing church choir songs, but they call themselves Hebrew Israelites. Okay, it says the way of truth. It says the way of truth. Oh, come on now, my mouth is not working. Okay, beautiful. It says the way of truth will be hidden, and no faith will be left in the land. Yeah, the way of truth is talking about the prophets. We're not going to be out here prophesying in the midst of all that nonsense and all that chaos. Okay, it says wickedness, and this is what's going to cause you Israelites, you rebellious Israelites, to go crazy, because Israel never wants to get right until it's too late. Okay, you're going to be running around looking for the Israelites, looking for the prophets, the ones that actually have the 100% truth, and you're not going to find them. Okay, the elect, once the Lord takes the prophets off the highways and byways and off the streets, the elect have already been sealed, because that's why we're out here, to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, and to teach the whole full elect. So it says, verse 2, wickedness will increase until it has become worse than you have ever known it to be. Damn. Okay, so wickedness will increase until it has become worse than you have ever known it to be. Okay, another reason why we have to gear up in the spirit. The country that you now see ruling the world will lie in ruins,
Mm-hmm.
with no inhabitant or traveler there.
That's right.
After that, if Yahweh, the Most High, lets you live long enough, you will see that country in great confusion. Okay? The sun will, and we're already there. We're already here. This prophecy is already playing out, but we're waiting for it to get to the climax.
Yeah, that's Isaiah 19 and 14. The spirit that's on the Lord put on America. Real quick, if I may read it, just real quick. It's just one verse. Going into it. Yeah, this is Isaiah 19 and 14. Oh, where did I go? This is from my phone. It's lucky. I just had it here. 1 second. The Lord had mingled a perverted spirit in the midst of Egypt, and everything that happens in there will fail. So this is what we're seeing. As further mentioned, it's playing out, right? And that verse right there that you just read, when MOTB, when the Lord brings that thing, all hell is going to break loose. But simply put, man, that's a spirit that's governing this place right now, right? It's a perverted spirit.
That's right.
It's mingled everywhere, right? But namely upon the wicked elites, okay? But it's mingled everywhere. The Lord has mingled it. So yes, just wanted to bring that out. Isaiah 19:14. That's a precept.
God. So back here in 2 Ezra 5 and 4, it says after that, if Yahweh, the Most High, lets you live long enough, you will see that country in confusion. The sun will suddenly start shining at night, and the moon in the daytime. And so a lot of not apparitions, but a lot of signs will happen in the heavens as well. And we know that the heathen will be dismayed at them. I just saw a post in the chat, in the group chat, that there's supposed to be 3 blood moons. If I'm not mistaken, 3 blood moons. Somebody in the chat can fact check me. But 3 blood moons, and to where 6 billion people will be able to see that. So that's basically the whole world.
Did it snow in Jamaica?
Oh, it snowed in Jamaica?
Yeah. Well, not all over, but near the mountainous regions in Mandeville.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just talking, brother. You know how it goes, right? The Lord is in control of the elements, man, despite of what we hear.
Okay.
That's good.
All right. So this next precept here, this is 2 Ezra 15 and 1. In the GNT, it says, the Lord Yahweh says, proclaim to my people the prophetic messages that I will give you, and then have them written down, because they are true and will be fulfilled. Okay? Do not be afraid of those who plot against you, or be disturbed by their unbelief. Okay? All believers will die because of their unbelief. The Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, says, I am going to bring terrible disasters on the whole world, war and famine, death and destruction.
That's right. Because
wickedness has spread everywhere and evil has reached its limits. Right. Beautiful. It says, therefore, the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai says, I will no longer remain silent about the wickedness of these godless people. Okay, and we're seeing, we've already known it, all right? We've been prophesying about the wickedness of these godless people, all right, for decades, starting with the apostles and bishops on down, of great millstone, who have 100% truth, okay?
That's right.
We have 100% truth. It's now just getting to the minds of you peons. I gotta say it like that, man, because that's really what you people are, okay? And you're not doing, and there's no outcry about what these wicked elites. Yo, Pam Bondi said if they were to arrest every single person on the Epstein files, the whole government was shut down. And that just went over people's heads. That means the people you work for, the corporations, the taxes you pay, all of it goes to funding these elites and their wicked endeavors. That's all it goes to. You people should be in an uproar in the streets, but because you've been desensitized, all right, through psyops, predictive programming, it's nothing to you.
Yeah,
Okay, but hey, we give glory to Yahweh Shemel Shai that we're in the know.
That's right.
Okay, we're in the know.
That's right. They're captivated by that sorcery spirit, man. They're captivated by it. Hey, and the Lord put it.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. In verse 8, it says, I will no longer remain silent about the wickedness of these godless people.
That's right.
I will no longer tolerate it. They have murdered innocent people, and the blood they have spilled cries out to me for revenge. The souls of the righteous are constantly pleading for vengeance. That's what we're doing.
That's right.
Constantly, man. We're doing this because we're hastening the day. We can't wait for this place to be destroyed, the society to be taken down, so the kingdom of heaven, where righteousness dwelleth, could be established on earth. Okay? If you're not in that spirit, you're going to be destroyed by Yahweh Shemel Shai, period.
Straight.
You're an enemy. You're an enemy if you're not in that spirit. All right, verse 9, it says, let there be no doubt, says the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, I will hear the plea of all the innocent people who have been murdered, right? And really, truly, right? The scriptures tell us who has ever perished being innocent, okay? But in a sense that they didn't do any harm, because, hey, these people are feasting on children, babies. And this is just what they're telling us. And all kinds of, the whole earth is an Epstein Island. The whole earth, okay? And that's just on the surface. They have underground stuff. They have underground cities. Okay, so it says, I will hear the plea of the innocent people who have been murdered, and I will take vengeance for what has been done to them. Yeah, because a lot of the believers, right? Some believers will die, all right, for not taking the trip. So what do you think happens when a true believer of Yahweh Shemel Shai dies and the soul goes up into heaven, all right, in front of the judge in the court? They call for justice, just like Abel did when he was murdered by his brother Cain. All right, so it says, my people are being led to the slaughter like a flock of sheep. They will no longer have to live in Egypt. I will use all, and the people are being led to the slaughter, okay, are 2/3, right? And they're being led there by their leaders, okay? But it says here, I will use my strength and power to bring them out. The them is talking about the elect of the nation of Israel, okay? The elect of his people. I will use all my strength and power to bring them out of the land. I will bring disasters upon Egypt, upon the Egyptians, as I did earlier. So it's talking about the new Egypt, okay? Spiritual Egypt, which is America, and I will destroy their country. Okay, and I'm gonna skip down and then I'll give it to you, Malak. Let's skip down here, verse 14. It says, in the GNT, the world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. There will be great political turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. There will no longer be free access to the cities, man. Lockdowns. Because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion. Because people, see, the thing is, you keep hearing confusion, right? And that ties into the topic of the lesson, which is gear up. The reason why there's going to be so much confusion because people are not going to know what's next.
That's right.
Where do we go from here? How do I protect myself? They're going to ask. They're going to be filled. Right now, people are filled, right, with the desires of their flesh. That's all they're filled with.
That's right. That's right.
Okay?
Perverted.
Exactly. When this society collapses, they're going to be filled with questions as to what to do. How do I protect myself? What comes next?
How do I get out of this?
How do I get out of this? Exactly. And they're going to be filled with all these questions while what? While the Lord is bringing destruction, terror, right, and evil. So they're gonna, man, yo, to have to find out what you have to do and what you can do while all hell is breaking loose. People are dying, families sick, kids sick. People, you have to worry about invaders breaking into your house. Yo, that's hell. This is why we do what we do now in the grace period. And this is why, as the title of the lesson says, gear up, because you want the Rakakadash to be on you in that time.
That's right.
So that what? You could receive divine instruction from Yahweh Bashim El Shai, okay, via his angels, which is the Rakakadash, the Holy Spirit, and provision. Right? If we're gonna be off the grid, and some of the elect are gonna survive until the destruction of America via the missiles, they're gonna have to be provided for. So there's already there's already provisions set for the whole full elect.
That's right.
Right. So again, it says, because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. Driven by famine and terrible suffering.
Crises, yep.
That's right. People will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions.
That's right.
Right. That's it on that.
Beautiful. Yeah. Spiritual famine will bring literal famine. Okay. All right. Real quick. So I'm going to finish off at Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter. The book before that goes into the Lord made the elect to be immortal. Right. So simply put, the souls of the righteous, right? The Lord's separation from this place, right? This kingdom is going down, and this kingdom is being built up. So yes, the Lord made the elect to be immortal. So I'm going to read 4 verses in the 3rd chapter of Wisdom, right? From 1 to 4. It says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and there shall no torment that are coming, right, in regards to the fulfillment of prophecy, starting with the MOTB, okay, in the hour of temptation, finalizing it. And it says, verse 2, it says, in the sight of the unwise, okay, leading up to these times, okay, Jacob's great time of trouble, in the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, right? Meaning they're looking at the elect and say there's no hope for them, right?
Yeah, and because we're not really dead, right? These people don't have the understanding we have, right? They don't know that you don't go to hell and burn forever, or some people think that when you die, that's it, that you just die and then you don't exist. Complete madness, right? So when they see the whole elect die, they think they think that we're actually dead, but really the whole elect are actually transitioning.
That's right. Truly immortal. Okay. Yeah, the Lord is made. Yeah, straight.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'll read it again. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, meaning the elect, in their eyes, and their departure is taken from misery, right? So even now, real quick, they come up to us and say, hey, you should get a job and this and that and talk shit, right? But that's okay, man. That's okay. The Lord promised immortality to his elect. Verse 3, right? Which was foreordained. Verse 3.
And then I also have to mention too, I want to add to what you're saying as well. It says, and their departure is taken for misery. Now, that's twofold too, as well, because the departure of death, right? They think it's taken for misery, which we already broke that down. But also the departure of the elect getting beamed up.
That's right. Oh,
right? Because you have
Strange Act.
the world being this is not actually a word, but I'm going to say it. They've been Hollywoodized, okay, or they've been enchanted, right? They've been enchanted by
That's right.
Hollywood in
Mm-hmm.
thinking that when you get beamed up by UFOs, which are chariots,
Mm-hmm.
you're being worked on, taken apart, and blah blah blah, and it's not a good thing, right? So that's also part of the departure from misery. And the reason why I say this as well is because it backs it up in Revelation, I think the 9th chapter or the 6th chapter, where it says, even after the destruction and the missiles and America's destroyed and the electric getting beamed up and da da da, they're still gonna continue in their wickedness for however long we're up there. The hopeful elect, the 144 are up there getting their coronation, talking to Yahushua and the whole thing, family reunion. They're going to continue in their wickedness. So these people, their outlook on what's coming down the pipe has been completely constructed by Esau, Edom. So they have no idea what's going on, and especially you rebellious Israelites.
That's right.
But you Israelites have heard the truth. You have heard the truth by the mouth of the prophets.
You've been forewarned.
Right? Who are speaking exactly. You've been forewarned, and this is why two chapters down, Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter says what it says about how they were groaning, right? And they Slocky. Let me just get it real quick, and then I'll give it right back to you.
Take your time. Take your time, brother. I think it's 5 and 17.
Let me get this real quick. This is G&T is pretty clear and straightforward.
Yeah. 17.
Yeah, there you go. So Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. Okay. And I'll just read 1 to 5 real quick. This is for you rebellious Israelites that heard the truth.
That's
okay.
right.
It says, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1 in the G&T says, on that day, someone right. It says someone, but I'll make it plural, okay, because it is plural. People righteous, full of confidence, will stand before those who have oppressed them and made light of their labors, which is the main labor is us prophesying this truth. Okay, they will be amazed to see him safe and will tremble with fear. All right, then they will, because to see us safe and protected the way we are in that time is going to put fear on people, because we already said that that's what's going to happen.
That's right.
Okay. Then they will regret what they did.
That's beautiful. Yeah, straight.
Yeah, go ahead. You got it if you want to go into it.
No, I was going to say, well, actually, the verse I was going to read, because they look at it as destruction. But no, it says shalom. We're in peace. We're with peace.
That's right.
We're with our power. That's verse 4 of Wisdom. 3 and 4. Right. So simply put, man, they're going to regret that. They're going to regret what they have said, even although we know that probation was already close to them. Go ahead, brother. Real straightforward.
It says they will regret what they did and groaning in anguish, man.
Yeah.
Groaning in anguish, they will say to each other, this is the ones, all right, these are the people we made fun of.
Yeah.
We thought they were a joke. What fools we were. We thought they were crazy to live the way they did. And when they died, we didn't honor them. Going back to what you read about the misery. Right?
That's right.
Right. It says, verse 5, and now here they are, one of Yahweh Bashim Shai's own children, with a place of their own among Yahweh's people.
See, peace. That's right.
Damn. We were the ones who wandered off the right road. We never lived in the light, of righteousness. We never caught the first glimmers of its light. Yeah, last verse here, Slacker. It
Take your
says,
time. Take your time.
all our lives, we wandered across unmarked deserts instead of following the road which the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, unmarked deserts. What is that? That's other doctrines.
Simply put,
okay?
Starts, yeah.
The unmarked deserts. You know why they're called deserts? Because there's no water there. There's no living waters there.
That's right.
Okay?
Dried up.
It said dried up. And that's exactly what you're going to find out. You're going to be dried up in Jacob's trouble, which means wisdom is there to meet you at your thoughts. So you're dried up. Your well has been tapped. See, the hopeful elect have an untapped well, which means it's an infinity of knowledge and wisdom and understanding. Okay? All our lives, we wandered across unmarked deserts instead of following the road which the Lord Yahweh Bashmiah wanted us to travel.
See?
Okay? Which was what? Was the word that was the road of suffering, because that's the road Yahweh Shai traveled. That was his rite of passage, right? The burden of the cross, carry your cross. Anyone who shall believe on me shall carry his cross. And if you don't carry your cross, paraphrasing, you're not a disciple of his.
That's right.
So they looked at us carrying that cross and going through the sufferings that we go through and that we talk about. All right, they didn't see it valuable. But when all hell breaks loose and those missiles, all right, are covering the skies, this is what they're going to be saying. Instead of following the road which the Lord Yahweh Bashim wanted us to travel, and this lawlessness led us to ruin.
See it?
Damn, that's right.
Straight.
You got it.
Beautiful. Finishing it off. Simply put, yeah. Read verse 4 again. No, verse 3. Salaki.
Yeah.
Says and excuse me, and they're going from us to be utter destruction, right? That's going to be their thoughts. They made fun of us, but they are in peace. Really, the elect is really in peace. Shalom, okay, with their power. Okay, whether the Lord allowed them to die or not, or go through without tasting death, they're in peace. And here's the point. Finishing up, verse 4, it says, "For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet in their hope full of immortality." You see? So yes, the chapter before this talks about the elect was made to be immortal, right? So gear up as the lesson goes into it, man. These are the things that we need to reflect on, okay? Of course, right? What's ahead of us in regards to what the Lord required on this roadmap that was just read, okay?
Yeah, it says full of immortality, man. That means, you can't, even if someone's hope is full of immortality, death is nothing to them.
That's right. Beautiful. Simply put, straight.
Beautiful, man.
That's it. Wow.
All right, this is my last precept, and then we'll close it up. Going into, we mentioned demonization, right? In the midst of confusion. So this is Luke 21:1. I'm going to read this in the NLT. It says, there will be great earthquakes Luke 21:11 in the NLT says, there will be great earthquakes and there will be famines and plagues in many lands, and there will be terrifying things and great miraculous signs from heaven. But before all this occurs, there will be a time of great persecution.
Yes.
You will be dragged. So, right, you'll be dragged into synagogues and prisons, right? Prison camps, concentration camps, however you want to say them, detention camps. And you will stand trial before kings and governors because you are my followers. You see? Because we follow Yahweh Bashim Shai in spirit and in truth, this is why we're going to be put in this position. But on the view of the world, we're going to look like tiaras, right? As to why we're brought to this position.
Yes.
They're going to think that's why we're brought to this position, but in spirit and truth, it's really because we follow Yahweh B'Shem El Shai.
That's right. That's right.
And this is why I open up with the lesson or with the precept. What are we really fighting against? We're not fighting against flesh and blood. We're not fighting against the kings and governors of this world. We're fighting against the spirit, right? Dark forces, the spiritual demon Satan, all right, and all his minions under him. Okay. So it says here, verse 13, but this will be your opportunity to tell them about me. So don't worry in advance about how to answer the charges against you. That's right. Okay. This is why you got to build up your faith so you don't have any worries as to what you're going to say and how you're going to get through what you're going through in that time.
That's
For
right.
I will give you the right words and such wisdom that none of your opponents will be able to reply or refute you. Okay, so basically the spirit's going to be so heavy on the hopeful elect in that time, like Stephen, where, you know, it says that when Stephen was speaking and he started to speak, the whole crowd looked at him because his face started to shine. So the Holy Spirit was on him. And all they could do is just listen while they were being condemned. And then when he was done, then that's when they took his life. But that's going to be the same position for the hopeful elect, the 144,000, when they're brought up to governors and kings. Okay? Because we're going to give them the judgment face to face, man. Okay? Even those closest to you, your parents, brothers, relatives, and friends will betray you. Okay? This is in the truth and without. Okay, we have brothers in the truth, you have brothers in the world. This is why, you know, especially, the Spirit's been on me to really harp on the fact that, you know, I always say this at GMS Toronto in our camp here, is that the brotherhood is a gift, it's not salvation. Okay? Therefore, what is the brotherhood for? Well, it's for many things, but ultimately we're around each other to get better. That's it.
That's right.
And with that, right?
Respect.
That's it. Exactly.
To respect the Lord, reverence the Lord.
That's right. Exactly. Right. And that's where the respect comes. Okay. So it says, and friends will betray you.
Yes. Beautiful.
And they will even kill some of you. Damn. Okay. But that's nothing to worry about, right? Because you're gonna be in the spirit. If you have the hopeful elect, you're gonna be in the spirit, and the Rakakadash, right? Sophia will meet you at your thoughts and remind you of these things.
That's right.
Okay, because if we're not in the spirit, we're in the flesh. Okay, so being in the spirit, we're gonna be reminded of these things. Verse 17, it says, and everyone will hate you because you are my followers. You see? But they're not going to say, oh, we hate you because you follow Yahweh Shai. They're going to say, we hate you because you're a tiaris, because you're a part of this group, or whatever narrative Esau builds for these people to get ignited with, okay? Okay? They get ignited with, so that they can ultimately look at the true followers of Yahweh Shai as demonic or as evil.
That's right.
As the scripture proclaims.
But we know in spirit,
but we know in spirit that what? That this is really because the demons know that we follow Yahweh B'Shem El Shai, and there's just spirits on these people, man.
That's right.
So verse 18, it says, but not a hair of your head will perish.
That's right.
By standing firm, you will win your souls. You dig? By standing firm, you will win your souls. This is why we got to gear up now. Gear up now so we can stand firm. And what's going to stand firm? Your faith. Your faith will not waver when presented, all right, with these situations, okay, or any situation in Jacob's trouble. Okay.
That's right.
All right, beautiful. So that's it. A little lengthy, but hey, Lord willing, this lesson was straightforward and edifying to the whole full elect of the nation of Israel, and water to the brothers on the common board, adding to this lesson, bringing up a lot of beautiful precepts. We didn't get to all of them, but the water, nevertheless.
Yes.
We're going to close by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bahakadash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and have taught us his word in truth and sincerity, man. And peace and mercy to the whole full elect, starting with 144,000 on down. All right, Lord willing, this lesson was straightforward and edifying. Above ball, Kwama Allah, and shalom to the whole full elect, man. Gear up in the spirit.
That's right.
Gear up in the spirit, man.